Talk about cleaning up your files and just staying organized. So, right now it's the end of the semester, and one of the things that I've noticed when I'm trying to help students with their files is that they often are not organized and they have files either all over their desktop, or even if they have a file for the project that we're working on, they do not use a file system within that file to try and keep things organized. So, since it's between semesters, this is a great time just to clean up your files and start getting organized for next semester. So, what I wanted to talk about was how you might want to go about doing that. And just to kind of show you some of my file system, and please know that I learned this the hard way when I was a student. And I can show you some files from when I was a student. So, when I was in the master's program, I did two things. One was I actually taught a class, sometimes two sections, and I also took classes. So I separated mine by the year, and then within the year, it had the two semesters. So I could go back and find any class that I took depending on kind of what year it was. Also, I taught Art 255, so these are my instructor files. And if you look under class, uh, this is everything that I needed for the class. So if I was looking for a project, I could just click on projects. Here's my quiz information. I had study guides. So you could see it's very organized. And even inside these folders, there's an InDesign file, a PDF file, and then I also have an answers kind of sheet for me when I was grading. And here's all the images that go with this study guidance in particular. So, pretty organized, and it just makes it a lot easier to be able to find whatever it is I'm looking for. So I have a file for Front Range, and this is what I would encourage you to do. So even though I'm an instructor, you're a student, that's fine. This is still a great way to organize your files. So you can have a file that says Front Range Community College or FRCC, even if you wanted to. If you put an underscore in front, it moves it to the top. So since this is a file that I use most often, this is the one that I want at the top. So I have administrative files. So this is going to include things even when I applied for the job at Front Range. It includes my advisory board information, agency stuff, awards, budgets, lots of information that is just administrative kind of stuff for my job as the program director. Um, and then I have some other things in here, like I have to be CTE certified. So this is my application information, some designs I've done. FRCC desktop. So I actually just got a new computer, and so I took everything off my desktop at work. And so these are things that I need to file. So I could actually call this file, and you could see right here I have a folder called file. And sometimes even on my desktop, I'll make a folder that says file. And every time I get a spare break, or like try and make yourself a day, like maybe every Friday or every Sunday, you're going to go in and file that stuff wherever it belongs so that you don't end up with a desktop full of files. So these are just things that I need to go back and file, but at least they're in one place, and I can easily go back and find them. So part of my summer project is to file all of this stuff and make sure that I'm good to go. And then I have a file called teaching. So in my file for teaching, I have an attendance sheet. So every semester I have a different attendance sheet. And the semester that I'm in is always going to be outside the folder. So I have a spring here, which I'm going to go ahead and drop into my spring class list. So now I have all my spring 20 stuff together. So I'm going to make a new one. I'll actually just copy this and paste it outside. And this is going to now be my fall. So once I have my new roster for my classes, then that's going to be my new roster. So if I open this a little more, you could see these are the classes. I just have organized them by classes. So if I go into, let's say, MGD 114 InDesign, and you don't have to name your files like I did, but I wanted to teach myself the numbers because this is important for front range. But I could just name this file InDesign if I wanted to. So in my InDesign file, I have some other files that are within here. So any assignment that's associated with this class, they're under this assignments tab. Day by day, I just broke down what we do every day or every week of that semester. I also have a class layout, which I've been working on. So this is actually my newest one. So this is broken down by week. I have homework. So these are kind of some homework assignments. I also have some lessons in here. Any kind of presentation I do. These are the projects. Any kind of resources that I have. This is my syllabus. And again, I've taught this class in fall 18 and I'm teaching it in spring 20. And here is, this is fall 20. So I need to make a new folder. So Command Shift N, and this is going to be fall. Oops, let me click in there again. It's going to be fall 20. And I'm going to drop this into my fall 20 when I'm finished. So I like to keep it outside so it's easy to find during the semester that we're using it. So this is actually, I'm going to drop it in that fall 20 when I'm done. And then here's some videos. I'm just starting to make some videos for this class now. So very organized. So let's say that we're working on a project for InDesign class. How would I organize that? So what I would do is if I am starting on a project, I can even just put it right on my desktop for now and then move it into my folder wherever that belongs. So let's just start from the beginning. So I would have a folder called FRCC, and then inside that folder, and I'm just hitting Command Shift N, but you can also go File, New Folder. I'll do that the next time. So I would have a folder called Fall 20 because that's the semester that we're coming up on. And then inside that folder, I'm going to go File, New Folder. That was not what it was supposed to do. So let's try that again. Oh, new window, file, new folder. And in that folder, I'm going to say, okay, I'm taking InDesign class. What I would recommend that you do is I would look at your syllabus for each of your classes. So obviously the classes that you're coming up on in fall, you're not going to have those syllabi yet, but you will for spring. So let's say that you're cleaning up your files from this last semester. So we'll go spring 20. And let's say that you took Illustrator 1. So we're going to go ahead and go Illustrator 1. And in Illustrator 1, you know that you had exercises. Oops. You had projects. You probably had some homework assignments. So this is just an easy way to kind of separate and organize those files. So under projects, you would have project 1. And what was project 1? I don't even remember. Let's go into projects. Project 1 is line and shape. So I would just click in here, project 1, line, and you could just call line shape. That's fine. Oops. That's fine. So that's project 1. So all your files for project 1 should be under that folder. Same thing, project 2. Project 2 was doodle project. So it's going to be project 2, and you want to name these because that's how it keeps things organized. You can even just call this doodle, you know what that means, but you don't want to just name it project 2 because a year down the road, you're going to be trying to find your painting project and not have any idea what number project that was. So that's how you're going to organize your file. So now we're coming up on fall, so you could go ahead and get all of these together. So I'm going to take InDesign, I'm going to take English 121 or whatever it might be. So you should have a folder for each of those classes. And then when you already know you're going to have projects in every one of your design classes, so you can go ahead and make one for projects. You're more than likely going to have something for assignments, so you can make one for assignments, and you can always change these. You can even have one for your syllabus and then drop your syllabi in there if you wanted to, just to kind of keep it organized. You can even have one that's called notes. So if you want to type out notes when there's like a demo in class or something like that. But this is a great way to stay organized. So again, in your projects, we're going to go a little deeper this time. So project 1 is actually a lyric poster. So we're going to have a lyric poster folder. And then in that one, we are going to have something where you could keep all of your pictures together. So I usually call it support or images or assets. You could call it whatever you want. Links is another one, but support is fine. So anytime you're finding images that you're going to be putting into this lyric poster, this is where you put them. So this is where everything goes. Sometimes I might have like a concepts. So I might have another folder that's called concepts or ideas or something like that. So if I had a lyric poster, let's go ahead and just open InDesign and make a new document. So our document for the lyric poster is going to be 11 by 17. So I'm going to make mine portrait, and I'm going to go ahead and say create. So this is my lyric poster. I'm going to save it, and I'm going to save it to my desktop because I'm going to drop it in the folder that I just made. So when we talk about nomenclature, we're talking about how is it that we name our files. So Adams, M, so last name, first initial, underscore, what class is it? So this is InDesign. And then a description. So project 1 lyric poster. So that's the correct nomenclature. Last name, first initial, whatever the class is. So some people will put MGD 114. That's fine if you know it by number. Most people know it by class. So if you had Illustrator, you could even just put AI 1 here if it's Illustrator 1, or if it's Illustrator 2, AI 2. And then a description of whatever it is. So here is my document. You can see it just saved it over here on this side. So if I were saving this into that folder, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and close this out because it's not going to let me move this folder if that is open. So now I'm going to take this lyric poster and I'm going to drop it in this folder. So under InDesign, lyric poster, you can now see that I have my InDesign file in there. So if I were looking for ideas, so let's think about our lyric poster, and let's say we were gonna do let's see. Let's think of a, a 2020 popular song. Let's just pick something real quick. So let's see. Rain on Me, Lady Gaga. So let's say we're going to do this Rain on Me, Lady Gaga. Let me click on this. And obviously you're going to want to think about the lyrics and what they mean. But you could start pulling some pictures, start thinking about what does that mean to you? What do the lyrics say? I would probably want to watch the video to see what it is. I'd want to listen to the lyrics of it. I can go find another one. Lady Gaga, Rain on Me lyrics. Oops. So here, this should be the lyrics. Okay, so here are the lyrics. So I would copy and paste these and put them into Word so that I had them. But I would read through these and try and figure out what is it that I want to display on my poster. So if I wanted to get pictures of rain, I could go get some pictures. These might just be some ideas. Okay, so I'm looking up just images and I'm looking up large images. So under my concepts, I might come in and pull some of these.
Writing's not that easy,
That's
but
interesting.
Grammarly can help.
I thought that was a picture, but apparently that's YouTube. So I might just try and pull some of these in just for concepts. So I just drag that under my concepts folder. So I might just pull out some pictures of rain, maybe like this, just pull some just for ideas. I might also look up Lady Gaga, and even, I don't know if there's going to be anything. Oh, did that say rain on me? Yeah. So these are some pictures that I might pull just for some ideas. So I might pull some of these. So these are just some ideas. This is her font, so I might want to pull that in just for some concepts. Basically, I'm just trying to show you what that breakdown kind of looks like. So you have your poster and all of your stuff for that poster should be in one folder. So here in your, that's under fall, everything's going to be right there. So even if you keep this on your desktop, it should be organized within here. And a lot of people will look at this kind of this view where it's just all these different files and it's pretty loose. I personally like this third one because it kind of shows you how you got there and it's easy to kind of go back one. Obviously, if you're doing this one, you can hit this back arrow and it's going to take you. Back, but just something to pay attention to. I think this one is the easiest to kind of look at. So what I would suggest that you do over this break is really spend some time cleaning up your desktop and making sure that you put everything together. So make yourself a folder that says Spring 20 and get all of those files within each of those classes, divide them up, into different folders and get them cleaned up so that you're starting the semester fresh, clean, and all organized. You know what classes you're taking, so you can go ahead and get this folder prepared, and it'll just make it a lot easier to be organized. Well, good luck with your file cleanup. I hope this was helpful.